Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. I know the setup is scuffed. I'm traveling right now, but the Zombies team have just put out their new dev talk. So we're going to watch this now, react to it, and see what they've said.
Hey everybody,
He's back in his signature purple. Let's go.
I'm Kevin Drew.
Steve Bianchi here.
Mark Manestis.
And we're here from the Zombies team, and we're here today to answer questions coming out of the beta. What's changing from beta in Zombies? The beta was super helpful. We never had this before. It was really cool to just get all sorts of data, especially at high rounds. And so a lot of the tuning we're going to be making is related to high round strats and damage values and things of that nature.
Let's get into some of the big ones.
Okay. Wait. Okay. When he said, let's get into the big ones, I thought that he was going to get into the changes they were making, not just move on to another question. That was kind of a weird edit. I will say, TREYARCH is in a really awkward place here, because there were no augments in the beta. And so one part of me is like, I don't want them to make a bunch of changes based on a version of the game that we will never play ever again, when actually, like, it's going to get a lot easier once augments are in place, right? So like, I don't want them to balance for the augmentless version of the game, but equally, I do want them to fix the pain points that I felt were present in the beta. And I'm just sort of going to need to rely on them to be able to distinguish between what was due to the augmentless nature of the game and what was due to a balancing problem more inherently. And that's not super easy. Like, I worry that the beta data is kind of tainted because of the augmentless nature of it all. So we'll see what they say through the rest of this dev talk, but that is a concern of mine that I've been sort of chewing over since the beta ended, and they're in an awkward spot with it for sure.
Are we getting a unique Zombies HUD this year? There is a unique HUD theme coming to Zombies at launch. We're really excited to have that in BO7. And
so that's not going to be the Shadows of Evil theme or whatever, or like the Giant HUD or the DE HUD or something. That sounds like that's going to be a new Zombies version, or not even a Zombies version, just a new Zombies HUD in BO7. I think? Like, that's what that sounds like to me, but let me know if you disagree in the comments.
look for some more in the upcoming seasons.
Why didn't TREYARCH show off any HUD themes at COD Next?
Good question.
It simply just wasn't ready to show yet. So when we do COD Next, we use a build that's, at this point, a couple months dated. And so this was a feature that was later in our development cycle. The Zombies HUD theme is very unique for the mode. We're really excited about it, and we're going to show it to you before launch.
Nice.
Weapons didn't feel strong enough after round 30 in the beta, so how are we going to address that?
We are looking at the higher rounds, and it's important for us that players are able to continuously play and maintain their ammunition by killing zombies, getting points, buying ammo, and the cycle continues. You didn't have access to your augments in the beta. Day one, you'll have access to anything you've unlocked in BO6, and that's going to be really helpful for maintaining your economy.
See, this is where things get tricky, is the concern I raised literally 30 seconds ago has played out just then. So guns didn't feel good after round 30 in the beta. They felt really bad. And Mark's answer there is basically sounding like he's saying, but it's okay because augments will fix that problem once the full game is out. But then it's like, well, hold on. First of all, how can we be so sure? And second of all, I'm a little skeptical of it. And third, I guess, is the beta experience that we all had then is not really representative of what the game's going to be like. So we've all got a lot of opinions about how it felt, but like, it's going to be so different. It's like, it's just weird. It's a weird one. Like, I didn't like how the guns felt in the beta. So part of me really wants him to say here, like, we're making some adjustments to how the guns feel to make them feel better past round 30. But then again, it's like, what if the augments are sufficient? Like, it's tricky, man. It's an awkward spot.
For the saw blade trap, we did decide to increase the price just a little bit there. We saw that a lot of players were spending a little bit of essence and almost making that all back. So we're going to bump that up, and we're also going to reduce the attraction on that.
Also, we have this change with...
Wait, huh? That surprises me a lot. I'm surprised, because with the trap being worse, people are still going to spam it. It just makes the ammo economy or the points economy problem bigger, because you're not going to get as many points back from the trap. And BO7 Zombies has a really big issue right now with, if you die, for example, at round 50, let's say, and you have to rebuy your perks, you're actually kind of screwed unless you've been very, very carefully point farming up until that point in your game, in a much greater way than you would have ever had to do back in the day with the old point system, which the current Treyarch team sort of deemed as unfair or punishing to less experienced players. It's sort of the opposite now. I actually think it's more punishing now. I don't know if I like that change. I think that spamming the trap as a strat is also something that is how high rounds worked, like throughout BO1, for example. It's like you do trap strats, right? And I think some variation where you actually do trap strats as opposed to only ever spamming mutant injection should be fine. So I don't know. It's too early for me to say, but I'm a little unsure whether that is the right change to be making based on people saying that spamming the trap isn't fun. But that's just me. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm actually really curious to hear what you guys think about that particular point.
SMGs, where at really close ranges, you'll get a damage bonus. The shock baton is getting some adjustments too. We wanted to make sure the weapon is balanced with the new abilities of heavy attack and critical attack. It was doing pretty significant damage during the beta, and we wanted to make sure we have room to grow with other weapons and give them their own identities. We've also made some other minor adjustments to a few other weapons, which you can find out
when we go live. Why was the Doppelgast in the beta?
I'm also very surprised they're nerfing the shock baton. It was good, but like, was it that good? I know people were using it to take down the bear, but I don't know. I'm surprised, but fair enough. I mean, they got to make some tuning from the beta, so fair, I suppose.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that each survival map kind of has its own identity, and we thought that at round 40, it's high enough rounds to kind of add in a little bit of variety to kind of spice up the loop there. We thought that got the Doppelgast.
The problem is it's not variety. Like, we've had so much Doppelgast, it does not add variation to give us more of the same thing that we've just had forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just disagree with the fundamental sort of premise of that point.
This is a great kind of intermediate between the Xursa and the normal zombies and the Ravagers. But that's going to be something like each survival map will kind of have its own unique identity. Don't expect the Doppelgast to be in every survival map. This might be the only survival map it's in.
I mean, good, but again, if the Doppelgast is in this survival map and then an amalgam is in another survival map, it's the same problem. It isn't the Doppelgast specifically, or at least for me, it isn't the Doppel as an enemy that I particularly hate. It's the fact that it's the same old stuff, for me at least. I'm curious what you guys think, but like, yeah, not sure that that's the pain point that needs addressing there, Kevin. I think it's just the fact that you're just reusing stuff.
Is every special elite enemy from Black Ops 6 coming to Black Ops 7? No. So for the most part, the enemies from Black Ops 6 aren't coming over. In general, like the evolutionary chain from Black Ops 6, so Parasite, Vermin, and Amalgam are not coming to Black Ops 7.
Okay.
No manglers.
Okay, you know what? Thumbs up. Good. That is the pain point that I wanted addressed. Good.
Tell us more about Cursed. I would love to tell you more about Cursed, but the mode is inherently built to be about discovery and letting the community figure out what is all in there. So we're trying to kind of strike that balance of letting you know the general shape of the mode. It's a harder, more advanced mode. And once you're in there, you have the classic point system, no mini-map, you start with a pistol, but besides that, there's other attributes that change, like ammo costs and things like that. But what you're doing in there is you're trying to find these relics, and each relic is this additional difficulty modifier. So you find that, you unlock it permanently, and you can activate relics and make the mode even harder. But by doing so, you'll also unlock additional rewards. And the first reward is once you hit kind of tier 1, is golden armor now becomes available and Cursed as a wall buy. With that said, let's try to answer some of the questions you do have about the mode.
Yes,
Can
please.
we get Cursed at launch without having to unlock it? So we know there's a lot of discussion about this, and we totally understand that players want to experience this version of zombies. So what we're gonna do is unlock Cursed as soon as someone out in the world completes the main quest in Ashes of the Damned. We'll make sure that everyone's able to go into that mode once that main quest has been solved.
Oh, interesting. I was ready to be really disappointed because it sounded like he was about to say, what we're going to do is we're just going to give you access. The fact that it's going to get unlocked after Easter egg completion is really cool. This is actually very in the same spirit as what Destiny does, with its raids. So in Destiny, a new raid will come out, and you'll be playing the contest version of the raid, which is harder. And then once contest has been completed by a team, it unlocks the normal mode of the raid so that you can either finish up playing contest or you can switch over to the normal, easier mode. So this is very much sort of in that spirit. It's also in the spirit of a particular raid in Destiny called Last Wish, where the completion of the Last Wish raid unlocked some other stuff in the world of Destiny, and it had narrative implications and story implications in a big way as well. And so I'm enthusiastic actually about them doing this in this way. However, a really big part of me does just want to say to the community, like, we've been asking for rewards for doing the Easter eggs for so long. I really, really do not think we should be like bullying Treyarch for the idea that they had, which they've now gone back on because of all the uproar. But we should not be bullying Treyarch for gating something behind Easter egg completion. Like, I just don't think we should ever be doing that. Things being behind Easter egg completion are so good and so few and far between, and we need more of it. And I just don't want to live in a world where they take a step in that direction and then people start complaining. Like, just please, can we encourage them if they gate things behind completion? Please! Because otherwise things are going to be boring forever. I'm like, straight up, they're just going to be boring as hell. And if that's what people want, then I don't know, that's not the zombies that I want to play, you know what I mean? Let's keep going.
No pressure. Will there be a relic to remove armor?
Good.
No. You really need armor to survive these.
Oh, it seemed like there would be some kind of way to interact with the armor system or remove the armor system in cursed mode. I'm very glad they're clarifying that now. This is a disappointment though, sadly.
These high rounds, it's a harsh world out there. Without armor, you die pretty quickly. So we do have an augment for Vulture Raid that will automatically replay an armor piece for you when you pick it up.
Yeah.
But also, there's golden armor, which you can get after you upgrade to 3 plates.
You're going to need golden armor in Cursed. It's a really challenging mode. When you start stacking those relics at higher tiers, it's essential.
Can we get some legacy weapons in BO7 zombies, like the Olympia and PPSH 41? We've seen the discussion about this, and we are looking into how this might be doable, but no promises.
Yeah, also, don't you dare drip feed us content that we've already had a million times over and over again in Black Ops 7 Zombies and expect us to just, like, jump up and down and praise you for it. Like, Treyarch, I need you to understand, yes, it's nice to have, like, the PPSH. Yes, it's nice to have the MP40. Like, I like those weapons. If you bring out a mid-season update in Season 5 that is, like, for zombies, new leaderboard event, PPSH returning, I am not going to sit here and be like, good. I'm going to sit here and be like, this is ass. It's just recycled garbage. Like, I like those weapons, but I do not want those weapons in lieu of other weapons that we should be getting that are new. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to live in a world where we get this recycled treadmill of content over and over and over again forever. Like, give us that stuff that is nostalgic and is exciting, but make it a value add on top of the base offering of new things that we should already be getting. That's how you win. That's how you build infinite goodwill with the community. Instead of it being like, well, we've got nothing to give the zombies community here, so we're just going to give them the PPSH. No, don't. Please, I beg of you.
Was the X52 Resonator from Season 6 originally supposed to be a wonder weapon? So, we've seen your theories online. Sometimes the community can be pretty accurate. But in this case, no. This weapon was concepted a couple months after Shattered Veil had shipped, and it's intended for the Season 6 haunting, where the weapons team could really let loose and create, another fantastic weapon. This one in particular is made for the whole game. So, MP and zombies.
What was the highest round someone reached during the beta? It was 617, which is an impressive number given the time that players had to play Vandorm Farm. So congratulations. Will there be a...
Okay, they should have shot him out. Like, weird. Okay, will there be super strength? This is also a question I really want to know. But yeah, I don't know who it was that got to 617, but whoever you are, salute. That's That's monstrous. Well played.
A super Easter egg in Black Ops 7. A super Easter egg is something that we care a lot about. We know the community cares a lot about, and we want to do it right. So it's something we're looking into for Black Ops 7. This being a continuation from 6 to 7, it makes a lot of sense if we're going to do one to have it at the end of this year.
Thanks for the feedback during the...
Okay, so no super Easter egg in Black Ops 6. Confirmed. I'm glad that they've put that to rest. I'm a little disappointed, but at the end of the day, if it's more epic and it comes at the end of 7, I'll take it. Fine.
Beta, we love the passion from the community.
We want to keep things as much of a secret as we can for zombies, but we will have more details coming soon as we head towards launch. See you then.
See you then.
Okay. Honestly, this is one of the, and this is going to sound like crazy glaze, but I really believe it. This is one of the best marketing assets I think that they've done for zombies this year, purely because it didn't feel like crazy uber scripted. It also didn't feel like they were ignoring the real questions the zombies community has. It felt like it was just the devs sitting down and talking, as it should be. I think we've run into this scenario so many times in the last couple of years for zombies, where it just doesn't feel like we're getting authentic communication. And this did feel really authentic. So, like, props to not only the devs obviously in the video, but also the rest of the Treyarch team in setting up this dev talk in the first place for making it feel a bit more real. Like, I really like that, and I want to see more of this kind of communication ongoingly in the future. I know it's tricky because they want to keep certain stuff in zombies a secret. I get it, and I want that as well, right? But there is a difference between keeping things secret for the sake of it and causing community unhappiness and upset, and keeping things secret when they need to be secret, but then addressing things when they need to be addressed. And I want us to be in the latter camp. I don't want us to be in this camp where they use the we're keeping it secret thing as like a weird, almost like control of the narrative situation, rather than for what it should be for, which is building intrigue in the zombies community and making people excited and stuff. Like, that difference has been really eroded over the years, and it's been weaponized, I think, a little bit by Treyarch and Activision, and videos like this are a really, really positive step in working back against that erosion. So props, Treyarch, for this video. I really liked the style, I liked the length of it, I liked the questions. I'd like to see more stuff like this in the future, and I know that you don't want to put out too much info about Cursed into the wild. I totally hear that. I think the one question that I would present here for Cursed as a close is, I think it would be good to distinguish for the community whether you are intending this to feel like a classic mode or not. Because the lack of armor changes beyond golden armor makes it seem like it's not the classic mode that we've been all waiting for. But there are still a lot of people that feel like this is as close to a classic mode as we're getting. So it would be really valuable, I think, to hear from the Treyarch team about whether the intent is for this to feel classic, or if this is intended to feel like something completely new and distinct from anything of the past. Within that, some of the balancing changes that they might be making to the way that the zombies' health scales and all those sorts of things would also, I think, be valuable to hear about. I don't think that they need to go into great detail about that, but just letting us know whether or not there are being broader systems changes being made to the underlying flow of the zombies experience to make this mode feel different would be really valuable, because if those changes are not made, then this is just going to feel like a variation mode of the base game, whereas if those changes are made, it might really feel like its own thing that stands on its own 2 feet completely. So I would be curious to hear more about that, but I also recognize that we don't want to overshare. Thank you, Treyarch, for putting together a really solid video here. I have very few notes. I'm impressed, and it feels damn good to be able to say that. I wasn't a particular fan of a lot of the stuff in the beta, but this particular marketing piece gets a thumbs up from me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.